EFF members say they're still recovering after last night's violent clashes. One of those members is Mbuyiseni Ndlozi, the party's spokesperson. He joins us on the line now. Mbuyiseni, good evening to you. How are you feeling after last night?
Well, they would have wished to break us into pieces, but we are breathing, we are all well, and we live to fight for constitutionality another day.
You must have known the strategy you were employing was likely to end in violence. Why did you go ahead with it as a party?
No, it's not a strategy. I think that all of us must not fall into the unrehabilitated spin doctor days of the chief whip of the ANC, whose strategy at the moment is to make us all forget the main matter here. The person that disrupts parliament is the one who has violated the constitution. If the country expects us to listen to a person that has violated the constitution, then the country surely does not believe in its own constitution. We had to stand up and hold Mr. Zuma accountable in as far as his breaking of the oath of office is concerned. And everything was done to protect him. Everything, including the securities, amongst whom were SERPs. And we are also reliable that we shall expose all these shenanigans which are planned authoritatively or from the authority seats of the presiding officers.
Let me ask you this. Many democratic avenues have been tried. The DA, for example, has tried to use Parliament. The courts have been used. Various avenues which are espoused by democracy in this country have been used to try to remove the president based on his violation of the Constitution. And yet, none of those have worked. Is it not time for you as a party to accept that Jacob Zuma is in power, he is the president right now, that there isn't another way for a State of the Nation address to be delivered by anyone, and that ordinary South Africans want to hear what the president has to say because it affects their lives?
You are very wrong. It means I need to bring constitution workshops there at the ENCA.
Well, do us a favour, do it on air for us now. Tell us about it.
Protest is constitutional. That is an avenue we haven't tried. If we are going to say that we have used all platforms that have to do with deliberative democracy, the courts, parliament, that's deliberative democracy platforms. If we were to say these things that you are saying to us during apartheid, then you would have been asking us to accept apartheid. No, we are going to stand up every day in that parliament, and if need be, we will have to protest. But that's the thing. If we normalize Mr. Zuma, then we are going to normalize constitutional delinquents, or the idea that the rule of law can be broken with impunity. The other fundamental thing here, and which we must all keep in mind when all these things happen, is that the people of South Africa do not vote for individuals during national elections. That's a distortion of our electoral system. They vote for political parties. But we are a constitutional democracy. Before the majority rules, there are a set of things or principles that they must meet. They cannot take lives as and when they wish. Freedoms of expression, freedoms to a trial that is fair with a sober judge, those are basic things. Amongst those basic things that are constitutional is that you cannot hold public office if you have broken the Constitution. It doesn't matter. If the majority imposes you, that majority is unconstitutional. So we do not live under the tyranny of the majority. We live under a constitutional democracy. And we are going to do this until they remove him, or he will have to live with the fact that it can't be normal anymore during his term of office when he's confronted in Parliament.
You know, we've been watching some horrific visuals of the way EFF members were treated in Parliament last night. But at the same time, we're watching visuals of EFF members throwing punches themselves, engaging in violence in the National Assembly. Is that either an effective or legitimate form of protest?
Absolutely. It's very legitimate. If people are beating you up, you have the constitutional human right to self-defense. If a person walks in studio there and starts assaulting you and you defend yourself, you defend your right to ask me questions, then we are all going to have to put posters and even print T-shirts in your name, because you would have been defending a basic right to the freedom of the media. That's why we said yesterday to people of the media when they come to Parliament, do not comply with any bylaws that are suppressing your movement freedom in the precinct of Parliament. Why? Because we've got the fundamental right to defend our rights, even against the police, even against dictators, even against tyranny. Otherwise, we are going to be one of the failed states that have happened across the continent and the post-colonial world in general.
Tell me, there are some allegations that the EFF released tear gas in the gallery last night. Is there any truth to that?
Absolute rubbish. I said to you, Jackson Mutembu is not rehabilitated from his spin doctor days. They spin the truth. They don't speak the truth. What is the matter? What is on the table? How did things fall apart? Jackson Mutembu and his entire gang in Parliament are trying to force a person that broke the Constitution down our throat. He takes a platform. What does he do? Instead of addressing that fundamental question, he raises allegations, and which I'm telling you without a shadow of doubt are false. People who carry tear gas in Parliament are the police, not gas. It's the police. The police were planted everywhere. Why? They want to discredit the EFF, but we are not fair. We are not going to even blink. We're not even going to blink. We're convinced that it is the ANC. Everything that happened, all the chaos must be put on the feet of the ANC, which is rendering this country into a banana republic.
EFF spokesperson Buyiseni Ndlozi, thanks very much for your time this evening.